Welcome to the Nisha Jackson Show. How are you? Welcome. I'm Rusty. That's Nisha Jackson.
Hi.
And I was just at your shop.
Clinic.
You don't call it a shop.
It's not a shop.
It's
a clinic.
Although it kind of is. It's a body shop for bodies.
Yeah, it is kind of a body shop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
for your health.
For your health.
Yes. I like that.
Now, it's different. It's different than when I lived here. I've been gone, though, for like 5 or 6, no, longer than that. So it's like, I don't remember. I remember you having some IVs and some shots, but not a lot. This time, now it looks like you have a lot.
We didn't have IVs when you were here.
You did?
No.
Okay.
And we only had one shot. I think we had 2 different shots that we could give patients.
Why have you moved in that direction? Is there a reason why, or you just thought, hey, this could be good for business?
Well, it's both, but it's really important. So the difference between taking a supplement and taking a shot and taking an IV or having an IV is that they actually they're introduced into your body in different ways, obviously. Okay. So an IV, the advantage of having these are vitamin IVs, so they're nutrient IVs. And the advantage of that is that it goes into your vein, obviously, and you can put quite a bit of nutrients in one IV bag. And it also serves as a little bit of hydration. So
I had heard about supplements in the past, people that didn't think supplements were that good, saying that, look, you're just peeing it all out.
Right.
Is there something to that? And that's why IVs are better, or they're wrong and they work good together?
I always think it's so hilarious when I hear that from people. Because there have been thousands and thousands of studies done on fish oil, vitamin D, high-dose vitamin C, Linus Pauling for Pete's sake. Mm-hmm. There's so much research out there to show why optimizing nutrient levels is important for your health. We know all of the downsides of B deficiency, rickets. We know the downside to vitamin D deficiency. We know the downside to calcium deficiency. So anyone that says something as silly as that, you got to just turn it off.
So it does.
You got to turn it off.
Okay, so you're saying that in your life, your studies, your practice, you have seen supplements and you've taken them and you've prescribed them and they work. They work.
They work.
Okay.
Yeah, they work. But there's different ways that you can take them. So I'm going to talk about supplements just for a little while because there is some confusion about supplements. And I think this is where some of the talk behind the scenes goes on that's negative.
Take a look here. There's a ton of supplements in your office. Look at all these supplements. Look at all this stuff you have. Yeah. I mean, it's very impressive,
right?
All these things.
Thank you. It is impressive, but I like supplements, and I formulate a lot of my own supplements. We have a separate supplement company called Bound Stocks. And why I think that it's important that we formulate some of our own supplements is I know exactly what goes in them. We don't put any artificial fillers. We don't use artificial ingredients.
Are there a lot of them out there that have a lot of junk in them?
I mean, you can go to, I won't name the brand because I'll probably get like axed or something. You can go to a very popular retail store and buy a vitamin D that has formaldehyde as a filler. I'm not kidding.
Why would they put? Why would you do that if you're trying to do health stuff?
Don't ask me.
You don't even know.
There are artificial ingredients and very harmful fillers that are in a lot of the supplements. And the problem with supplements, Rusty, is they're not regulated. So that's where some of the bad information is out on supplements, because some of the supplements, and probably maybe even the majority of them, aren't good.
Okay, now there was a time where they wanted to regulate supplements more, and we thought that was bad, right? Or was that good?
Well, the problem is that whenever regulation gets entered in, usually things just get messed up. So I think what's important, so if you're looking for a good supplement, besides all the ones at our office, if you're looking for a good supplement, I would suggest that you look for a GMP certified. Good manufacturing practice is what it stands for, which means that it has to meet certain FDA regulations for compliancy. So every single pill in that bottle has to be exactly what it says that it is. So if you look at some of the research that's been done, the analytical research that's been done on supplementation, the analytical research shows that even like they've done it like on just vitamin E. And they took 5 very popular brands of vitamin E that were not GMP certified. They were not, part of that, what I just said, the good manufacturing practice. And they tested them, analytically tested them, and they found out that they would range anywhere from 10% of what the label said to 600% of what the label said.
Wow.
Pill to pill. So you want a supplement that every single pill is what it says. Obviously, if you're buying it, you want it to be what it says.
Right.
So that's why I started formulating supplements about 13 years ago, is I wanted to know what was going to go in that supplement. When I gave it to my patients, I wanted to know what they were going to take.
Okay.
And I wanted it to work. And that's the other caveat with supplements is when you take supplements, you don't have any idea how many milligrams that you need or international units that you need to achieve the effect that you read about. So if you read about like why coenzyme Q10 is so important for heart health or prostate health or whatever, because it's good for both those things, and breast health, and energy. So anyway, when you read a research article or even just a little article in a magazine and you say, oh, I got to start taking coenzyme Q10. So you go and you just buy coenzyme Q10 wherever. Health food store. You don't know what you're getting. Just I'm buying coenzyme Q10 because I read it was good. But you don't have any idea how many milligrams of coenzyme Q10. Is it 100? Is it 50? Is it 200? You don't know. You're just buying whatever label looks cool. So there's a lot of ignorance about how much you need to have the therapeutic effect that was just talked about in that research study. So that's the other reason I wanted to formulate supplements is I wanted to give the right amount of the ingredient or the botanical that actually would have the desired effect.
And you're finding that those ones that you had made really do the job that you were hoping.
Yes, because we test people's blood and we find out this is where you were before you started and this is where you are now.
And by the way, she's got her own lab. I mean, I went there. There's people drawing blood and they're doing mixing stuff up. And I mean, this is not some, fly-by-night operation. You've been doing this a long time. You know what you're doing.
I've always had my own laboratory because laboratory medicine is really important to me. I want it done right. I want to be able to get into the lab and say, run that again. It doesn't look right. You can't do that with big national labs. And I wanted the least number of people to handle the laboratory specimen as possible. If you go to a large commercial laboratory, that specimen might be handled by 30 different people before it actually gets to the main not manufacturing, but the laboratory facility for processing.
Wow.
We have one.
Okay.
So it's really important, 1 or 2, depending on what clinic it's coming from, but minimal. I also like to do research. So having my own laboratory, it allows me to really look at data and look at research and before and after effects and how certain laboratory panels, when they tests change, how does that interface with things like autoimmune disorders. So I like having a lab, but now I'm getting off subject.
No, okay, so let me ask you. So you did the supplements, you're able to test, you know that it works. So then why shots and why IVs? Why go to that next step?
Instead of just swallowing a pill.
Yeah,
or powder.
I mean, because I can do it myself with the pill and the powder, right?
So here's the deal. We're going to do a show on the gut, the absorption in the gut. It's because so many people's guts are so unhealthy because they're eating sugar and garbage. And it's reducing the amount of good bacteria in the gut. And when you don't have the right pH and the right bacteria and the right balance in the gut, you can't absorb the nutrients and you're spending all this money on really good food, where you should be, and supplements, and you're not absorbing them because you don't have the right flora in your gut to absorb. So we do see a lot of patients that have this problem. And you don't have to be overweight to have this problem. You can have a real unhealthy gut and you're not absorbing. And this can lead to all sorts of medical issues, chronic pain, skin problems. It can lead to confusion, forgetfulness, attention problems, depression, anxiety, insomnia, etc. So we want you to be able to absorb, but sometimes with patients, we have to start them on shots to get their nutrient levels up, because the shots are awesome, because what they do is they bypass the gut, they go right into the muscle, and you get 100% absorption right now.
And so it works
right now.
And then so you do that to kind of get me in the right range,
Yes.
and then I can start taking more supplements.
I get you in the right range. I can get you in the right range. And then we start working on your gut for optimizing your gut health, so that then if you either your levels are optimal and you're eating better and you're getting many more nutrients from your food, then you might not need as many supplements. So our goal is to get people in the right zone so their body's doing it on their own.
That's new, isn't it? Because I remember not that long ago, everything was supplements. Everything was, even the high-end stuff was, we're going to make supplements just for you. But no one was talking much about IVs or shots.
Right. It is more recent for sure. Definitely the last 5 years, it's really gained a lot of popularity. It's also gained a lot of scrutiny too. And so I hope that the people don't get a little too crazy out there with the regulation of these IVs and shots, because I think it's really important for people's health. I can move people's health much quicker with an IV or a shot. The advantage of an IV over a shot, I think the shots actually last longer because they're in the muscle rather than the vein. So it sits there longer for the patient. But the advantage of an IV is that you can load a lot of nutrients in one bag, one IV bag, and you can bring many levels up at the same time. Where in a shot, you can only use like 1 to 3 cc's or milliliters. But in a bag, you could use 100 to 500 cc's.
Wow.
So it's a lot higher dose and multiple nutrients.
And if I was going to do the IV, how long does that take? Is that like an hour kind of deal?
Our most popular IV is called the Myers cocktail. And it's a really good research has been done on it, especially in the area of fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue, depression, autoimmune disorders. So the Myers cocktail is just a 100 cc bag, and it's about 30 to 45 minutes at the most from start to finish.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Do we have a Nisha cocktail?
Yeah, we do actually. No, it's not called a Nisha, but
why? If that guy could have one, why can't you?
It sounds a little weird, like Nisha cocktail, like. That might not be a good idea to call.
Well, I mean, okay, the Jackson jump,
anyway,
that doesn't work.
We have other ones that take up to 2 hours.
So did you come up with some of these? Did you mix some of these together like you did with the?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And we've added things to it. You know, the thing that we really like to do is to do a glutathione push at the end. So we give the IV. We give the IV, and then we take something called glutathione, which is the world's most powerful antioxidant, and we push it at the end, and it is excellent for your skin. It's excellent for your immune system. It's really good for your mood. I find it excellent for people's concentration and memory, but it's really, really, really good to help people's immune system and to move their health, especially if they're sick or they get sick repeatedly. So we do a lot of those types of pushes and IVs during the wintertime.
Do I have to go to Peak Medical Clinic, or can you ship those to me? Can you ship the shots or no?
We're actually working on that concept. So way to be an opportunist there. That we're actually working on that, but there's some legal issues that we have to work through. It would make
me nervous to I mean, I've had to stick needles in myself for like testosterone, and that hurt. I didn't know I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Because I'm what's the word? Wussy.
I wasn't going to say it.
I'm sure you're no problem. Give me that.
I can give myself a shot right back here in the butt. I can do it. I can turn around and do it.
I can't
just
do
like
it.
Put it in.
You're way tougher than me.
It feels way better because the gluteus, the butt muscle is much bigger than the leg, you know, and it hurts in the leg. Yeah,
I remember doing it and not being able to walk for like a few days.
I know, because that's usually a tense up right before you get it. So anyway, that's the differences between the supplements, but the supplements are really, really, really important.
And you've got a ton of them. I mean, I'm trying to think that you had stress and you had mood and you had, I mean, it's a whole wall of stuff.
Right.
What ones do you think, I mean, they all are different for each person, right? What we need?
Well, our number one most popular supplement, it's combo supplement, number one. I mean, there's a lot in the top 5, but there's 5 supplements that we sell a lot of, but the most important supplement that we sell that everybody loves is called Stress AM and Stress PM.
Okay.
And that supplement, that combo supplement, it helps optimize your cortisol, which is your stress hormone during the day. So, and then the nighttime stress PM blunts the cortisol at night. So your body is meant to have cortisol on a rhythm. So in the morning when you get up, your cortisol, which is, I guess you can kind of think of it like energy. Cortisol is like energy, like adrenaline. So unfortunately, when people have tripped out on stress for too long, or they've had, very dramatic events in their life, traumatic events in their life, they end up getting to the point where they're underproducing cortisol and they don't feel well. They wake up in the morning, they don't feel rested. They hit the wall in the afternoon. They're trying to like OD on caffeine or sugar or something just to get them up. This is a huge problem today, right? You hear it all the time. They're exhausted during the day, and then when they finally go to bed at night and lay down and try to rest, they can't turn their brain off.
Right.
Or they go to sleep right away, but they wake up at 2, 3, 4, and they're just like, oh my God, I can't sleep. So the stress AM and the stress PM helps correct the cortisol level so it stays optimal during the day up, so that you have good memory, good focus. Your ability to manage stress is much improved. And then it should slowly go down as the day goes on, so that when you get to bed at night and you take the stress PM, it's a very safe supplement to use. It's phosphorylated serine, so it's actually extracted from egg yolk. It's very safe to use. And it blunts cortisol. So it keeps your cortisol down so you can turn your brain off and rest and go to sleep. It's not a sleeping pill.
And you've had these supplements for a few years, so
Yes.
you know that you've tried them. People work. Nobody gets sick.
We've sold hundreds of thousands of these supplements, and they work. We've done a lot of internal testing on them, and they're awesome. I take them myself every day. It's just really important to get that rhythm right and to restore it, because the thing is that you don't want to feel exhausted during the day. Who wants to be exhausted during the day and then wired at night and then being even more exhausted the next day because you didn't sleep very well?
Right.
So sleep is important. It is another very important factor for determining longevity is sleep. And if your brain's moving and racing, or you're waking up and you can't shut it down, you need to work on the cortisol, not a sleeping pill. So sleeping pills do not help cortisol. They only help the sleep brain chemicals. So a lot of people get confused that they think they need a sleeping pill, but they really just need to blunt cortisol.
Okay.
And you can do that very naturally, which I love.
You've got a lot of other cool things. I mean, there's a reason that someone should come to your clinic. I mean, I walked in and first of all, it's very calm. It's very nice. It's very classy. It's not huge. It's a nice place to go, but you've got like the Cocoon.
Yes.
And you've got some else. Like, what is the Cocoon, is it worth traveling to go and use the Cocoon?
Right. Well, you can get IVs and shots and the Cocoon in most metropolitan areas. Really you can. So whoever listens to the show, you can probably just Google Cocoon, or
It's a movie, but
nutrient IVs or shots. So you don't have to come to Peak to get that stuff. I'm just saying
you should go there.
I just saying it's important.
Nice. Okay.
So, here's the deal. The reason why we have all these things, because we do a fair amount of aesthetics. We do Botox and fillers and PRP and platelets in the face, which we should talk about at some point. Here's the deal. Patients come in, they don't feel good. They're, like I said, they're suffering from either reoccurrent illness. They're not sleeping well at night. They're feeling depressed. They're not themselves. They cannot handle stress the way they used to. Something is wrong. That people usually come to us because they're not well.
Okay.
And so once we balance everything out, we look at their hormones, we look at the entire endocrine system, we optimize the gut, we optimize the neural brain chemicals. Once all of those things are balanced and people feel like on their game again, like they got their life back. In fact, that's the number one thing that we hear in our office. I finally feel like I got my life back.
Really?
I love hearing that. Like, seriously, of all the things I love hearing that sentence. I got my life back, because that's so cool. And but when they get their life back and they get their kind of their mojo back, they start saying, you know what, I want to look better. Like, I want to get rid of these wrinkles, and I want to lift my face back up, or I want to, I want to start doing the Cocoon and some body treatments or whatever. And I like having that stuff there because, again, I can kind of control it more if it's in my office and I know what they're getting.
Not that you have no control issues at all.
I gave all that up. I just have compliance and control now.
Yeah.
And so So that's why we have it there, because I think that there's really nice ways that you can improve the outside of you and help your external body age well too.
Real quickly, I just saw a little pamphlet for the cocoon
Yes.
in your office, and it looked interesting. What does that do?
It's so cool. So when you lay in the cocoon, so all of the facials that we do in our office, from our esthetician does facials, she does them in the cocoon. So the cocoon is it just looks like a big cocoon. I mean,
looks like I could take a nap in it.
Yeah.
That's the thing I'm really liking about
it.
it.
Yeah, you could take a nap in it. A lot of people do.
Yeah.
So you lay in it, and it's infrared heat, which is very good for detox, by the way. It's good for chronic pain. So it provides a very high temperature infrared heat. It provides massage. So it's massaging your body while it's heating your body.
So it's like a massage sauna.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly. And you can control the heat if you don't want that much heat. You can control
how hot does it get?
110, 120.
That's hot.
Yeah. But it can get
Phoenix hot.
It can get hotter than that too. Like, we have a whole treatment program that you can put on like a spacesuit and get in there and spray this stuff on your body for detox, and put the spacesuit on and get in, and it gets much hotter than that. So
why do you want to do that?
Well, if you want to lose weight and you want to detox, it's a whole different program. But
okay,
I'm going to talk about the cocoon first. So it does infrared, it does massage, it has aromatherapy, it has oxygen that you can breathe in oxygen while you're in there. It has music. It even has a place that you could put your hands. We don't encourage this, but you can put your hands out through the cocoon and hold your iPhone or your phone, and you can text. It has earphones for music. It's so cool. It's just it's a nice little feature to have, while you're getting a facial, because most people just lay on a bed and get a facial, but you get all this treatment when you come in.
Okay, nice. So that
makes people feel good.
I want to try that one sometime. Yeah. Hook a brother up.
I'll hook you up.
Okay, that's good. All right. The peak, your clinics are growing. They're all over the place. I see you got I see a sign here. I'm not going to read them all off, but all these places where you have where you're going to put these clinics right now. Where are they?
Mostly in Oregon. We're still expanding in Oregon. We'll be opening in Montana this summer, late summer, and we're moving into Texas too. Hopefully, awesome. Moving into Idaho after that.
Can I ask you one other quick question?
Sure.
About Oregon? In this area, I'm telling you, every block is another marijuana place. They are, am I wrong? They are everywhere. It's coffee shops and marijuana. And not only that, they grow it here.
They grow a lot here.
Not a little bit. We're talking a lot.
Yes, it is a lot.
To me, this doesn't look like a great trend.
Maybe we could talk about that sometime in the future.
Okay.
I actually have some really interesting thoughts on cannabis and THC and CBD, but maybe we could talk about that. That's not something we offer in our clinics, by the way, but I do have some interesting thoughts on it, on the medicinal benefits and some of the research that's out there. It's very fascinating.
Okay.
So I can't completely diss on it, because there is some very interesting research happening right now.
All right. I want to hear about that. I guess that may be our next show. Yeah. I want to thank you very much, Nisha Jackson. You find her, Nisha Jackson, Nisha at nishajackson.com or
right.
nishajackson.com. Any other websites you want me to go to?
If you want to look at the medical clinic, it's peakmedicalclinic.com, and it lists the different locations on the site. And lots of information if you want to find about the services and things.
Yeah, and you can order the supplements and stuff?
You can order all the supplements. We don't charge shipping.
Wow.
And but it describes the supplements, and you can ask questions too if you're confused about any of them.
Can you get the coaster? Probably not. These are special collector's items.
I'm so impressed that you brought those to me today.
I know.
I feel so happy about that.
Good. I'm glad.
Yeah, it's really nice of you.
My pleasure. All right. She's Nisha Jackson. Check it out again, nishajackson.com. And please do us a favor. Will you please tell people about this show? It's great. How much did you learn today? A ton, right? It's a lot of fun. It's a great educational piece. So tell your friends. Subscribe if you're listening on iTunes, or send the link if you're watching it on YouTube or wherever you are. Tell your friends, subscribe. We're growing this show, and she needs to be heard, and you know that. So thank you very much for checking us out. She's Nisha Jackson. I'm Rusty Emery. So we'll see you next time here on the Nisha Jackson Show.